Hello, everyone, and welcome again to this weekend where we'll be reviewing the markets and checking what we're expecting for this month. How was your first half of the year of 2023? How was it? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it terrible? Was it amazing? Whatever it was, I just want to remind you that you have the second half to do better than you did last half. Okay, today is the 1st of July 2023, and it's my prayer that this next half will be way better than the previous half of the year. So, we're looking at the monthly review, and the first thing I want to do right now is to look at where we have a lot of news because whenever we have a lot of news in the market, that's the best time to take advantage of traders and manipulate the market against retail traders. All right. So what I have here is the calendar for the entire month. From first, you can see right here for July 2023. And for the first week, we don't have so many news. However, it's important to know that we're going to be having FOMC. Aside from FOMC, we also have unemployment claims for US, and we're going to have non-farm employment change and unemployment rate on Friday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be quite liquid, but we don't have so much news for the first week. The second week, from Sunday to Saturday, which is 9th to 15th, we have pounds on Tuesday, claim count change. Then we have USD, a lot of their consumer production index or thereabout, CPI. They have that, and then the 10-month bond auction or 10-year bond auction. Aside from that, we also have core PPI month per month on Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday would also be very active. Then Friday, we don't really have that much news. The third week from 16th to 22nd of July, we don't really have any major news. Maybe aside from this for pounds. Then USD unemployment claim on Thursday, which should also make the market move as well. Also, this retail is also important, but it's what we use news for basically is to create liquidity in the market, what we expect from the market. Okay. Now, the last week of the month from 23rd to 29th, we have a lot of news, particularly euro related and pounds. We also have a lot of USD news during that period. So this period is the period to be very careful. If it's possible from 23rd to 29th of July, trade minimally. All right, so we've noted that okay, the best time to make money for this first month will be the first, second, and third week. For the fourth week, we'll just be looking for entries within this news period so that they won't hunt our stop losses or collect the money we've made during the month back. All right, so without wasting too much time, I would like to go on and check what we have on TradingView. All right, so now I would be switching to TradingView. On TradingView right now, what we have first as my favorite of all time is gold. And on gold, I spoke previously that we are expecting this market to move up, and I'm expecting it to actually move up to this final point, which is around 2426. But this is the monthly time frame. So before the market would actually make this move, it may take a long while. Okay. Now, why am I here? So the major move we had previously was done in March when we had this bullish candle push. Now, this bullish candle push made the market come above these other areas. So this was the indication for me that the market was going to move up. But at the same time, I was expecting the market to pull back to this monthly key area. And then from here, we may see a bullish candlestick moving the market upwards. All right. So this is still in line with what I'm expecting. If this price should move below this point, which is around $1,806 per ounce, then I may be expecting the market to come back to this area or even come lower. But for now, my bias on the monthly time frame for gold is still bullish. All right. Now on the weekly time frame, as you're aware, I mentioned that the weekly time frame was in a range up, down, and here we had a lot of hunts as if it wanted to go down, but see, it maintained this monthly level, and the price has pushed up to the stop point. Now, from this point, the price came down here. Throughout this week, we've been talking about it. Okay, what are we expecting from the market? I was actually expecting that the market would bounce here, but what happened? The market broke below, came to this monthly key area, and right now we have a doji. We have a doji. We have a doji right here. This is a doji here. It's an indecision candle, which means that this price may move up or this price may move down. So next week we'll be watching if we have a bullish candle up to this area, which is around 1959 from 1918, then we would have a morning star setup. Alright, a morning star setup is a reversal candlestick pattern that shows that the market is about to move either up in a bullish pattern. We have evening star for the bearish pattern, we have morning star for the bullish pattern. So we may have a bullish move here, but next week is when we're going to be sure when this market is done moving. If we have a bullish move here, we can expect the market to first test this point. Then from this point, we can expect the market to move to 2,244. But this move is not going to happen in a day. It may not even happen. We may not even get to this point by the end of this year, but we may have a bullish move from here to this point. This may be the last time this price may test this area for a very, very long time. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting on the weekly time frame. But next week we'll be able to confirm if we see a bullish candle here. Now on the daily time frame, right, initially we had this 1, 2, 3 push, and from here I said the market was going to fall to this point, which it did. Then we had a push up, but this market failed to create a new high here. Rather than doing that, the market now started trickling down, and immediately the market came comfortable around here. I took my hands off gold because you need to be careful when trading gold. Gold is a very volatile pair. Alright, so what happened here was the market came down here, pulled up, and came down here. There is this formation I've been seeing recently where the market does something like this, comes here, come here like a W, and does what? Moves up. So we may have a move like this, and the reason why I'm expecting a move like this is simple, because we have a morning star setup here. This is what we call a morning star setup. Okay, you have a bearish candle, an indecision candle, then a what? Bullish candle. So this is a morning star setup telling us that the price is doing what? Reversing. So right now what I'm expecting is I'm expecting at least this price should move from here to 1940, then maybe from there move here 1960, then maybe from here we may see some pullback and then a continuation up to this point. But from here we may not expect it to now move high and continue moving up as anticipated. But till this happens, let's take from this point 1917 to 1940, meaning that we can as well expect this price to move to this point first. Okay, we can expect it to move to this point first, then from here we would know what to expect. Okay, so my daily is looking bullish because we have a W formation here to push the market up at least to this point 1960. That's roughly about 500 pips if that happens from here upwards. So a trader who has funds and can swing can actually take a buy from here to this point. All right, and set your stop loss a little bit below this point, which will give you a rough estimate of 2.2 risk to reward ratio. You're risking about 280 and you're making about 625 pips, which is a good return if you ask me. Now, aside from that, on the weekly as well, we have an indecision candle which shows us that it may go up or go down. On the daily, we have a bullish view. On the weekly, we have an indecision candle showing us that we may have a reversal here. This setup has not changed yet. The only time this level would have been broken is if we have a bearish candlestick from here, say from here downwards, giving us a new low, then we can expect it to fall. But right now, this structure is still intact and the upward move is still intact. Okay, so for weekly is indecisive, and for monthly we're expecting a bullish move. All right, for monthly we're still expecting a bullish move because our point of bias invalidation has not been met yet. All right, now I'm going to move to the pound dollar without wasting too much time. On the pound dollar, we had a bullish move, and I said that last month, being June, was going to be bullish, and the month of June did roughly about 400 pips move, which is not bad for anybody who started buying immediately. So right now, what am I expecting from the market? Right now, I'm looking at this chart and I can still see that there is a bullish move right here. The market may come this high, the market may come higher. But if you look at this chart properly, let's just focus on the lines itself. We had the market move like this, down here, came up here, down here, came up here, before coming down here. Which tells me that this price may actually move up to this point, then we may now have it retest this area as it did on the left as well, then move upwards. Okay, but this is a monthly chart. As you can see, this is 2027. That's like 4 years from now. So for now, let's just keep this in mind, keep this somewhere, and see what the market may provide for us later on in this year. So right now, this market is still bullish. We have a possible push upwards. On the weekly time frame, I drew this earlier. Let me come here. Yep. Okay. All right. So on the weekly time frame, as we had this point and this point, we had these yellow areas as the key weekly areas of interest. All right, as you can see, these are areas where the market was rejecting and bouncing on. Now the market has bounced off this area. We're expecting that this price is going to move up to this point. Okay, we're expecting that this market is going to move up to this point. But here's the deal, this price came down here. Let me zoom in a bit. All right, so this price came down here, pushed up here, retested this line, came up here, and last week was an indecision candle, a doji. I personally am still expecting that this price would retest this zone. All right, bounce off this trend line before moving upwards. This is my expectation. The overall trend is still bullish, but we may have a slight pullback. Now if you observe here, we had a bearish candle, a doji kind of, then a bearish candle before we had a railroad pattern to push the price up. So I'm expecting that next week may be bearish for pounds, then maybe upper week or around Thursday, Friday, we may see the market move up from here after bouncing off this trend line. All right. On the weekly time frame. Now, the reason why I'm going to talk about this again is because I need a lot of people to understand what I'm saying. So we had a pause here, then the market moved up, came down here, came up here. If you can see, there was a pullback here, a pull up, then the market did what? Came down here, giving us a nice double bottom, because this is a move. This is a full move. This is not a significant pullback. We had a pull down here, we had a pull up here, we had a pull down here, and now the price came up here, rained a bit, broke above it, came down into it, and now we have the market moving upwards here. Now, in as much as the market moved up, we had a bullish engulfing candlestick here, but this area is not really a key level in my opinion, so I'm expecting that this price may still drop from here, to this point, then from here move upwards towards this point. All right, it may still drop to this point, then from here move upwards towards this point. Now, for me, the best bet is to look for a buy somewhere around here, because the overall trend is bullish. So you'll be looking for a buy somewhere around here, right? Your take profit will be up here, and your stop loss could be somewhere around here. Let's give it 100 pips. So you're taking the trade for 100 pips stop loss, right? And your take profit is almost 600 pips. So you'll be looking for a buy somewhere around here. Your take profit will be somewhere around here. For swing traders, I'm talking to swing traders, I'm not talking to everyone. Notice I gave one on gold, I am giving another one right here. We can expect a bullish movement upwards, but I'm still expecting that this price may come to retest this area before we move up. Next week we'll know what will happen somewhere around here. But once the price comes down here, we'll be looking for a good opportunity to buy on this bounce. Okay, so we're bullish overall, but we're expecting this pullback to be done to buy to the high side. On the weekly time frame, we are still bullish because the market is giving us higher highs, but we are still expecting the market to pull back a bit before we continue our buy. And on the monthly, overall, we still have a buy sequence, so we may still see bullish candlestick to push the price up to 1.410. Okay, so we may expect a move upwards to this area. All right, so we're expecting a bullish move as well, the same way we have on gold for the month of July. Finally, for EURUSD, we have EURUSD, and EURUSD is a unique pair because it's one of the slowest, one of the most steady pairs to trade. Usually, if you're a new trader and you do not have any experience trading and you're just starting up for the first time, I would personally encourage you to trade EURUSD and nothing more. Okay, so here we can see that the market is obviously bullish, but at this point we can see that the price tested this area 3 times. Now I'm expecting, or I'm anticipating, that it is possible for this price to still come down to this region, which is around 1.056, 1.054 area, or 1.051 area. You understand? It could still come here before moving up. That's what I'm anticipating. Now why am I anticipating that? Because if I zoom in a bit for you to see the candles, you would see that right here we had a bullish candlestick and a weak bearish candlestick here. This candlestick is not bigger than this candlestick. Now what happened? The price now went up, then we had an overwhelming bearish candlestick. which tells me that at this point it's possible that the bears may want to push the price a little bit down. All right, now if that's the case, I was anticipating that is it possible for us to have an overwhelming bullish candlestick? What happened? The price came up and did what? Came back down here, which shows that the bulls do not have that much power to push the price up. So this price may come down to this point and make this point a support level to bounce upwards. All right, it may come down to this area to bounce upwards. Okay, but this is the monthly time frame. We would want to see what would happen um, next week, next 2 weeks. So next week, if we see a candle come above this point, then we know that we're going up directly on the monthly time frame. But if next week's candles are bearish, then this price may actually come down to this area before moving upwards. So it's a 50-50 chance depending on what time shows us. All right, now on the weekly time frame. Now this weekly time frame is quite peculiar to me, and the reason why I'm saying this is I marked this high and this low. So these are the two areas of interest after making a bullish run upwards. From here, I'm looking at this high, this low, and what happened? The price came up here, retested it, but if you notice there is no break above it, and what happened? This price came down, and after coming down, what happened? This price came up a bit, and we now have this candlestick. This is an inside bar setup with a doji, meaning that this price may most likely come downwards. If this price should start falling from here, my first area of interest will be somewhere around here, which is 1.05330, which aligns with my expectation on the monthly time frame. Okay, it aligns with my expectations on the monthly time frame. Now the reason why I'm not really keen on these candlesticks is because there are different patterns you could look at. For example, this is a range. Right now we have like an equal high, so we should expect an equal low. At the same time, we could also look at it from this angle that the market is giving us a nice falling wedge setup. If I do this, no, I can't do that. So if I do something like this, we have a possible wedge setup. Okay, now if we talk about wedge setup, we're looking at something like this. Let me draw it for you. This is a rising wedge setup. All right, but it's not yet properly formed, showing that this market came from here, came down here, came up here, came down here. The price from here, rather than stopping here, may push up here, come down here, come up here, and maybe we'll see a break. We may see a break pull up to this point and then a fall from here. So this is a rising wedge setup. But until this market makes the move, maybe come here and does a rejection towards this downside, I really can't say anything about it. For now, what I can see are the market is within this range, and the range being here 1.1033 and here, which is 1.10517. So from here, this price may fall down, this price may rise up. We will know what the market is going to do next week, but either way, the overall trend is still what's bullish. Okay, now finally on the daily time frame, we've spoken about this severally. I've shared all I can about it, and I spoke about it that okay, we had this move, we had the market break out of this trend line, and I was saying it then. If you go and check my previous videos, I was expecting it to rise to this point and then from here fall down to this point, and I applied my Fibonacci. All right, Fibonacci from here to here. As you can see, the price respected the 79 fib level and started dropping. Alright, so from here we may expect that this price may come down to this demand zone before a bullish move upwards. That's the reason why for EU I'm looking bearish. I'm looking bearish on the daily and weekly time frame. So I'm expecting a pullback because the market is within a range setup. Okay, because I'm looking at the market as it's being in a range setup, so I'm expecting it to come down. So what happened here? The market came down, pulled up, and then market came down. So it will come down slowly to this area of interest. So personally, if you don't have any experience trading, I would encourage you to leave this market. For people who followed me during the weekly reviews, you would have seen a possible trade somewhere around here, which happened last week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The price came to retest this point, and right now you should be in some profit, so we're expecting it to come down to this area, so you should be in profit if you're selling. So while I'm looking for a bullish move on gold and pound USD, I'm looking for a bearish move on euro USD. So right now in my head, gold is ready for a buy, heavy buy up about 500 pips thereabout. For pounds USD, we're expecting a pullback before the buy, and for euro USD, I'm expecting a sell to the downside, but right now as it is, only time will tell. This is my monthly review for the month of July. I'm anticipating that in July, gold is going to have a bullish move, GBPUSD is going to have a bullish move, euro is going to have a bearish move. This is my expectation. Now, remember that in pounds USD, we had a double bottom. We don't have a double bottom yet on euro USD. This is a continued move from the bottom here. Okay, let me zoom out a bit. So this is a continued move here, though it created the support level. The price came up here, tested this point, gave an equal high here with this, and now we're expecting it to give an equal low before we can say we have a double bottom for an upward movement. Okay, so with this, I do wish you the very best in the month of July. If you have any questions or inquiries that you want to make, you could put a comment below, or you could chat me up on Telegram at Telegram at BearbullFX. Alright, Telegram at BearbullFX. If you have any questions or inquiry, please feel free to chat me on Telegram. This is my handle, and on my Telegram page I have a channel for free signals. That's where I do my weekly analysis and I upload it there. That's like my journal. That's where I keep all my information on how I trade, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, and all that. So you could always visit there, chat me up, I'll send you the link, then you could from there get midweek analysis, midweek reviews on what I'm expecting from the market. But for the month of July, as I've said, on gold I'm expecting a bullish move, on pounds USD I'm expecting a bullish move, on euro USD I'm expecting a bearish move. That being said, it will be wise to follow the trend. Even the euro USD that I'm expecting a bearish move is still bullish, but right now we're in a range market, so it may be better to leave EU for a while and focus on the sure buys or the higher probability buys on gold and pounds USD. Thank you so much for your time once again. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Shortly today or tomorrow, I will be sharing the weekly reviews, what I'm expecting to happen this week within the 1st and the 7th of July. Thank you once again. I remain Beable King. Do have a lovely week, month, and half of the year ahead. Bye bye.